Greetings, this is J.R. Dickey. Thanks for tuning in to our podcast. And by the way, don't forget our website, graceandtruth.net. I hope you're having a great day, but if not, hang with me. It's about to get better. Okay, today's devotion I call Encounters. You'll see why. When Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord." It's Luke 5:8. It is truly intriguing to observe the encounters of various people with Christ, especially when they are aware of his power or divinity. You can always tell when it's genuine, that is, honest. There's no feigning of respect, no pretense of self-importance. Here, Peter is fully aware of his own depravity. We know from other Gospels that he had already met Jesus before, and Jesus even called him Peter, that means a rock, rather than his given name Simon, which means basically go with the flow. In this case, though, Peter himself was rocked by the supernatural authority of the Lord, and his sinful heart and rebelliousness to God were in his face. He could not handle the truth of his condition and assumed Jesus couldn't either. But all that changed. Luke 5:12 says, "And it happened when he was in a certain city that, behold, a man who was full of leprosy saw Jesus, and he fell on his face and implored him, saying, 'Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean.'" And we don't know this fellow's name. Since he was a leper, maybe nobody did. They certainly didn't want him to be around. And again, he was cognizant of his condition, not just outwardly, but undoubtedly his heart was filled with pain of rejection, isolation. He was untouchable, and he felt unlovable. But Jesus loved him and touched him. Luke 5:13 says, "Then he put out his hand and touched him, saying, 'I am willing, be cleansed.' Immediately the leprosy left him." This guy had been a testimony, so to speak, of God's judgment, the Almighty's displeasure, but Christ demonstrated the true heart of his Father. And, well, all that changed. But not everyone who encounters Christ does so with sincerity. Some see themselves as morally superior to everyone else. The power of God's Son does not impress them because they actually are not just bound by sin, but devoted to evil. Then many of the Jews who had come to Mary and had seen the things Jesus did believed in him, but some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them the things that Jesus did. This is out of John 11. Then the Pharisees and the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered a council and said, "What shall we do? For this man works many signs." Then from that day on, they plotted to put him to death. Jesus had just amazingly raised Lazarus from the dead. Many people were elated and praised God for it, but others simply ran like rats to inform the religious cabal, the Pharisees, who hatefully plotted to kill the Lord. They thought, if we just put him down, that will end it. We will continue to rule, but all that changed. In each case, there was an encounter, a reaction to the Lord, and then a reply from the Lord. To Simon Peter, Jesus said, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will catch men." To the leper, Jesus said, "I'm willing. Be cleansed." To those who fall before him in humility, he speaks lovingly. To the Pharisees and those like them, well, listen to this. "And the high priest arose and said to him, 'Do you answer nothing? What is it these men testify against you?" But Jesus kept silent. And the high priest answered and said to him, "I put you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." Jesus said to him, "It is as you said. Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." It's all out of Matthew 26. He is silent or speaks of judgment. God knows who you are even when you don't. And when you encounter him, he'll show you who you are. You can't get away with faking it, and you don't need to try. Always be real with him. He knows who you are. When you love him, you can always trust him. Now may the Lord grant you peace in the midst of any storm and faith to trust him. Look for our next podcast, and may you realize more of his grace today.